All right, we'll call the meeting to order. Can we have a motion to adopt the agenda? It has one amendment.
Mr. Chair, I would like to make a motion to amend the agenda for the addition of 12.10 surplus vehicle update.
All right, Ms. Burns has made a motion to adopt the agenda with the addition of 12.10. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Reeves has seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And that's unanimous. All right, Mr. McPherson, would you read our closed session motion?
Absolutely. Proposed motion to go into closed session. I move that the board enter into closed session subject to the advice from the attorney pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143-318, 11A1 and A6 to prevent the disclosure of confidential personnel information under General Statute 115C319 and to consider matters related to personnel matters. The board will also enter into closed session pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A3 to consult with the board's attorney in order to preserve the attorney-client privilege and to consider confidential student matters as provided in North Carolina General Statute 143-318A1 and the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, 20 U.S.C. 123G, and North Carolina General Statute 115C 402.
All right, thank you, Mr. McPherson. Would someone like to make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Ms. Hanson has made the motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Spivey has seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And that's unanimous. We are in closed session. All right, we are returning from closed session. Do I have a motion to go back into open session?
I make a motion, we go back into open session.
Mr. Spivey has made a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Burns has seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, so we're back in open session. Can I get a motion to approve the HR report?
I'll make a motion to approve the HR report.
Ms. Burns has made a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Ms. Hanson has seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, the HR report is approved. Next item is the Pledge of Allegiance. Would everyone please stand for that? Mr. Spivey, would you lead us in the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. You may be seated. Mr. Garner Akins, would you do our invocation, please?
Again, Chairperson Hall, Three Love Cabin, ready for summer, because here it is. If you would, let's bow. Heavenly Father, we just, again, thank you so much for this day, and we just thank you for another successful year. And Lord, we know that you've been in it from the very beginning, and we just ask, again, your mercy and your grace and provisions and wisdom for the upcoming summer months. We know it is still a very busy time, a lot of great decisions that need to be made to prop us up to be successful for the following year. We just thank you so much for keeping your hand over us. We ask that you'll keep us safe tonight, that you'll be with this meeting, be with those making decisions, that they'll judge for the best of their intentions. Lord, we just thank you, we love you, and we praise you. And we ask these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
All right, Mr. Akins, thank you for doing this for us every month. Mr. Akins is the assistant principal at Pender High School and also the pastor of Shiloh Baptist Church. So we add to his list every month here of stuff to do for us. All right. Item 7 is recognitions. Dr. Grimm.
Well, good evening, Board. I'm excited. It's my first time doing recognition since I arrived here. And back in August when I arrived, we started having conversations about the hard work of all of the operational employees. Our classified staff, throughout the district work quietly and humbly behind the scenes. And without them, we just wouldn't function in our schools. So we came up with an Employee of the Quarter award system. And so far this year, we've had 38 nominations. And as part of the Employee of the Quarter, the recipients, they each receive a certificate, a T-shirt, and they also, are just recognized throughout that quarter. And so we're excited to bring those 4 folks here tonight so I can share a little bit about them with the board. So I'm going to ask the 4 recipients to come on up here. Okay, yeah, just come on up here, and just if you stand right across the front there, and I'll have you turn around the other direction. Thanks. All right. So I'm going to hand out certificates to them. So. Okay, so just want to tell about each one of these folks. So Robbie here was our first Employee of the Quarter. Robbie has been with us for 12 years as an HVAC foreman. Robbie, and 13 actually, coming up in July. So Robbie demonstrates a high level of expertise in diagnosing and repairing complex HVAC systems across multiple school campuses. His ability to troubleshoot effectively minimizes downtime and ensures that learning environments remain comfortable and safe for students and staff. His work reflects well on the HVAC department and serves as a great example of what we strive for district-wide. If we give Robbie a round of applause. Our second employee of the quarter is Missy Daniel, and she consistently demonstrates excellence in her role as the TIMS routing coordinator for Pender County Schools. Missy's attention to detail and technical expertise in the TIMS routing system have made her an essential part of the transportation team. Her ability to analyze data, balance workloads, and adjust for ongoing growth and changing conditions directly contributes to the success of the transportation department and the district's mission to serve students effectively. And Missy has been the TIMS routing coordinator for 23 years. So we can give her a round of applause. And my administrative assistant, Shannon Jansen, is an exceptional team player whose dedication, professionalism, and positive attitude contribute significantly to the success of the maintenance department. She manages the calendars of multiple directors, ensuring priorities remain organized and communication is coordinated throughout operations. Shannon is dependable, proactive, and consistently seeks opportunities to improve processes and support the needs of the team. Her strong organizational skills, collaborative approach, and commitment to excellence makes her an invaluable asset to the maintenance department. Let's give her a round. And lastly is David Gerganis, and David has been with us for 20 years as an electrical foreman, and he consistently demonstrates excellence in job performance through his reliability, attention to detail, and unwavering commitment to delivering high-quality work. He approaches every task with diligence and professionalism, ensuring that the questions and concerns are addressed promptly and effectively to support the smooth and efficient operation of our schools. David's positive attitude, strong communication skills, and dedication to serving the needs of the school personnel have earned him the trust and respect of colleagues throughout the maintenance department. Let's give David a round of applause. So we are just very proud of our whole team and our recipients tonight. I did want to also mention when they receive their awards, we bring the whole operations team together and we do about an hour meeting, talk about our goals, how we're progressing in different areas, and I think it's a meaningful time to share communication with the entire team. And we're looking to maybe expand this next year so people out in the field can also nominate staff members and maybe some additional categories. So Lauren and I have been working on that for a while, so you may see some different folks up here next year as well, some additional people. So anyways, let's do some pictures if we could. Let me get you to go to your left. There you go. Think about it. All right, 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Thank y'all. Thank you. Thank you all for being here.
All right, thank you, Dr. Grimm. That brings us down to public comments. Mr. McPherson, do you have the list? Would you read the names and the statement that goes with it, please?
Good evening. The Pender County Board of Education welcomes the opportunity to hear from the public during its regularly scheduled meetings. The public comment period is open to all members of the community, including parents and students, to express compliments, concerns, or complaints regarding the performance of school personnel, the implementation of board policy, the quality of the education program or school facilities. In accordance with policy 2310, presentations will be limited to a maximum of 3 minutes. Obscene, vulgar, profane statements and statements reasonably perceived to be disruptive or eminently threatening to the orderly operation of the meeting shall not be permitted. Our first public commenter this evening, Zeb and Megan Emery.
So sorry. Stick me in a room full of children, I'm great, but adults, not my favorite. Good evening, board members. My name is Megan Emery, and this is my husband, Zeb. I'm here tonight to ask Pender County Schools to release my daughter, Riley Emery, to attend CTEC. I have proudly served as a teacher with Pender County Schools for the past 5 years, and during that time, I have had the privilege of working with dedicated educators, administrators, students, and families who care deeply for doing what is best for children. I am grateful for my time with this district and for the opportunities it has provided me. Tonight I'm speaking as a parent, asking for consideration for what is best for my daughter. Riley applied to CTEC in August of 2025 and was officially accepted in March 2026. At the time of her application and acceptance, we followed all the established procedures and guidelines underneath the policies that were in place. Based on that approval, our family made educational plans for her future. On May 12th, after Riley had already been accepted, the policy regarding release to out-of-county schools changed. While I understand the board's authority to make policy decisions moving forward, I am asking that consideration be given to Riley, who was approved before the change occurred. This is not simply a matter of preference. Riley has a 504 plan, and CTEC's smaller class sizes, supportive learning environment, and are particularly well suited to her needs. We believe that CTEC will provide the structure and support necessary for her to thrive academically and emotionally. As a family, we have relied on the approval that was granted to Riley. My husband is a 100% disabled veteran, and we made important decisions based on the understanding that her acceptance would be honored. Having that approval reversed after the fact has created significant uncertainty and hardship for our family. I respectfully ask the board consider grandfathering Riley, who was accepted before the policy change, to allow Riley to attend CTEC as originally approved. Riley earned the acceptance under the guidelines that were in place at the time. Our family relied on that decision when making plans for her education. We believe it is fair and reasonable to honor Riley's approval, which was granted before the policy change took effect. Riley worked hard to earn her acceptance, and we respectfully request the decision made in March be upheld. Thank you for your time. Thank you for our service to our students, and thank you for your consideration to Riley's situation. Thank you.
Thanks.
Mike and Jen Cook.
Good evening. First, let me say ditto to everything that she just said, because our family has gone through a very similar process. The first thing I want to say is us trying to get our son to go to CTEC has nothing disparaging against Pender County Schools. We made the decision 2 years ago to send our daughter to CTEC because it was a great opportunity for her and our family. I'm hoping that each of you took the time to read either the email or the letter that I sent you, which outlined our stance on why we feel we should also have our son going to CTEC in the fall. He went through the rigorous process of applying and getting accepted all in his own work. He did not ask for us for any help. He designed and did everything himself, looking forward to attending that school with his sister in the fall. As a family, the timeline was February and March for us to come together and make a decision on what we were going to do in the fall. My wife and I both work in Wilmington daily. CTEC provides us an opportunity to not leave our kids at home unattended for hours every day because of the time that it takes us to travel back and forth. I believe I stated in my letter to you that if Pender County, Burgaw offered us the same job opportunities, we would probably stay in Pender County and work and skip all the traffic of Wilmington. But that's not the situation. The situation is that this decision that you guys made after all the acceptances were done and completed for the school systems has really thrown all of our planning into a big waste of time that we spent a lot of effort in trying to decide how to complete a good work-life balance for us and for our kids at the same time. That's really the gist of it. I feel like I've spelled it out already. Not a whole lot else that I can say.
I think the only thing extra, I think the other family covered, quite honestly. We're on the northeast side of Pender County, so we are not anywhere close. So having to reroute through, to go to anything in Burgaw would just be, we already drive an hour each way. And CPEC's actually on our way. The way we come down, it would add at least an hour, round trip, if not more, for us. And there's time differences between their school days. They're very, very different. And quite honestly, my son has been very excited to be going in the same school as his sister. And it was a bit of a heartbreak to find out that there was a chance he wouldn't be able to go 2 days before graduating 8th grade. And that was kind of a bummer. I wish there had been, a little
timing was-
Yeah, the timing was a little bit off, and I just wish we had, had some ability to have some say in it, and maybe we could have helped give you some information beforehand that may have changed the situation.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thanks. Dr. Breedlove, I have a question about, that you may know the answer to. Have we traditionally, in the past, an MOU for CTEC shows up, I think, without, in other words, I guess, when did we receive that, or their request for us to contract with them? Yeah, or roundabout
I
time.
believe it was right around the end of April, beginning of May, when we received the MOU for next year.
So they did acceptances in March before we were sent a contract.
That's correct.
By they, I mean New Hanover County Schools.
Yes, sir.
Because, I mean, people have got reasons here that,
I understand.
and both sides do, so that, okay. I was just wondering the timeline. I wasn't sure. Yeah.
But were the acceptance letters sent out before the MOU
Well, that's
was
right.
Yes.
accepted by
Yeah,
both sides?
That's correct. We didn't get it till late. in the
Right.
It
spring.
sounds like New Hanover accepted it or sent out letters to parents before they ever sent us an MOU
That's
request.
That's correct.
I don't know. I don't know how we proceed with that. It's
Well-
beyond me. I mean, we've,
Well, this is public comment,
yeah.
so we really can't make any decisions right now because this is.
Oh, no, it's not on the agenda. It's not an agenda
Yes,
item,
sir.
but questions are good for any time.
Right, absolutely.
And I just asked one that I hope will answer some questions that people have. And I believe, let's see, the vote on an MOU is an open session, which we did at our last meeting, correct? Okay. All right. I may have some more questions later for you as I think of them, but
Yes, sir.
I just want to make sure I had the timing right now that I've heard it in person.
Yes, sir.
in the event that we did not, if we do not have one, do we have anyone here that can help people that may be affected on knowing what their options are?
Yes, I would put them in touch with Dr. Sawyer and Jennifer Herbstreit, who is our secondary director, and can help
Okay.
them with any planning that they might need.
All right. Because we've gotten some emails and sign-up sheet. I just want to make sure people get things resolved. That's all. That's what all right. Anyone else before we move on to the superintendent? All right, Dr. Breedlove.
Okay. There we go. All right, good evening, Board. Just a quick shout out to our entire school system of students, our faculty, staff, volunteers. I just want to start off by saying thank you to each and every one of them for an amazing school year that we've had this past year. Currently, as we approach the summer, we're already there. We have many summer camps going on across the district right now. Learning opportunities all around the district. We have reading camps, we have STEM, science camps, communities and schools is doing their 21st century camp. Parks and Rec have their camps going. The Boys and Girls Club have theirs. We have Story Seekers coming up out at West Pender, Camp Invention, and many others. I do want to also recognize that not every student is taking a summer camp in that, but regardless if they're in our camps or not, I do wish all of our students a happy and safe summer all around. Some additional sort of good news, board members, like we did last year, our school system's child nutrition program with Aramark, they're doing bulk summer feeding again this summer. Every Wednesday starting last week on June the 3rd, all the way through August the 12th, from 12:30 to 2 o'clock. We have summer bulk feeding going on at the following locations: South Topsail Elementary School, C.F. Pope Elementary, Malpas Corner Elementary, Rocky Point Elementary, as well as Atkinson Town Hall and Maple Hill Presbyterian Church are locations for that. And just to show you the impact in Pender County for that, last week alone, we gave away, or we handed out, 14,578 meals in Pender County. That's significant, and so we will be doing this all summer. I think last year, we were new at it, and so the word probably hadn't spread. I think as the summer went on, it picked up because word spreads and what we're doing. But and each meal, you get a breakfast. You have there are 7 breakfast and 7 lunch meals handed out in each box. So I just wanted to kind of pass that along and let you know, and thank Aramark. Miss Nallen is behind that, our entire team, and then we are also looking for volunteers to help at each one of those sites as well. It's really just an amazing venture. Also, starting tomorrow and going through Thursday, we do have our annual administrative retreat at CFCC. We will be meeting with principals and directors as we not only review this past school year and some of the data that we have with them, but it's for planning the 26-27 school year upcoming. Several professional development activities are in store. We have work on our strategic plan, academics, HR department, budget, finance, all of those things that go into planning for next school year. Also, before we know it, school will be back in session, especially at Pender Lee, which is our year-round school. So they don't have as long of a summer break as everybody else, but they have more breaks spread throughout the school year. And so their first day will start on July 20th already. And then, of course, early college also is an early start back on August the 4th, just to let everybody know. And then traditional schools, the first student day will be on August 24th of this upcoming August. And then our next items that we do have a committee of the whole meeting on, our next one is July 28th will be our next committee of the whole. And then the next regular scheduled board meeting will be on August 11th. Board members, that concludes the superintendent's report.
Did you say the first day of Pender League was the 20th?
Yes, yes, July 20th.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Breedlove.
Yes, sir.
10.1, first read of changes to Series 4,000 policies. Dr. Taylor.
Try to speak up a little bit. So, board, you have in front of you, if you remember back when we started the 4,000 series, they were split in half. This is the second half of those policies, second read for those. I would draw your attention to the summary, which includes a breakdown in a chart format that kind of indicates what the changes were. In the accompanying document, within that section, you'll see all the red line revisions. Some are these are considered substantive changes. A lot of the changes that were recommended by the School Board Association do include updating general statute references, things of that nature, cross-referencing all those items. Some of the items in here are recommended and strongly recommended, and some are required. It would be my recommendation that we accept the recommended and highly recommended and required after second read. There is a lot to digest in here, so I'm not going to go through every single one of these policies with you because the public will get bored, honestly, and so might you. But do take a look at this in your leisure. Please let me know if you have questions regarding these policies. Also, Mr. McPherson, I'm sure will be happy to answer those for you and with you. If you see something in the attached document that I believe is about 44 pages long that you have a question about, please reach out. Happy to try to problem solve with you. Likewise, the 1,000 series policies, I will draw your attention to this. These do not include any Title I policies, anything that reflects Title I. As you know, and Brandon, Mr. McPherson, you can speak to this as well. It's in constant flux back and forth. We have adopted the previous Title I regulations out of the previous, pardon? Title IX. Did I say Title I? Sorry. Lots of titles. Title IX regulations, we've adopted the previous ones that have been now reinstated, and it's in flux. So at this point, we do not have recommendations for any of those policies until we hear more from the federal government on that. Is that accurate enough? Awesome. There are not as many of these for recommendation. These are your governing policies for the board. And you'll see those are linked as a second document as well, again, excluding Title IX. There's only about 60 of these documents and compared to 160 something in the previous one. So again, you can see the red lines in there. Some of them will be adding in dates, things of that nature, cross references. A lot of these weren't substantively changed. A lot of these were minor. If you see the blue in there, those are strongly recommended from School Board Association, et cetera. So again, with these, please ask questions. We'll bring these back for second read in next board meeting, which might be in August. Yeah. So give you some time to digest all those pages. Next on the docket would be another section of 3,000 policies coming to you, and another section of the rest of the 1,000. So, yeah, just to be prepared for those. Thank you very much. Feast Down East. Is anybody from Feast Down East here? Great. Come on up. We do need this presented, I'm sorry.
You got a presentation?
Yeah, it's on there.
On it? One second.
Hello, Board. I'm JT Crawford. I am the Food Hub Operations Manager at Feast Down East. We're located at the historic train depot in downtown Burgaw, so right down the road there.
I'm Grace North. I serve as the board chair. I'm here as moral support. JT is our expert, so glad to be here.
We appreciate you guys taking the time to have us. I am here mainly,
You're fine.
I am trying to get the school board to start buying from local farmers. So what we do at Feast Down East, we work with small and medium-sized farms within about 150 miles of Burgaw. What we do for these farmers is we list all of the produce or value-added products online. All of our customers order over the weekend, and then we do deliveries and all the logistics for them. So the farmer just has to tell us what they have, drop off whatever was sold, and then we pay them. They don't have to get into New Hanover County and deal with traffic or any of that jazz. We also have a mobile market. So what I do personally at the Food Hub, we do wholesale. So we work with anywhere from Whole Foods, UNCW, Cape Fear Community College, a lot of the restaurants in downtown Wilmington. But we also have our biggest customer is our mobile market and Food as Medicine routes. They drive around in these little sprinter vans, and they sell food that is going to all these other institutions and restaurants at cost to the community. It's really cool. The same stuff that's being sold at the nicest restaurants in Wilmington is also being sold at cost to the community. They also accept Double Up Fresh Bucks, SNAP, EBT. I went over that guy.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Apologies. So it's just these two areas here.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Alrighty. So we do a couple other things too. We do technical support for farmers, and when grants allow it, we also do things such as the Farmer Scholarship. This has allowed small farms to buy anything from drip tape, fertilizer, other types of like irrigation, packaging, which is actually really expensive for farmers, or even like farm signs. So I think that's pretty cool. Here is our impact report for 2025. On the top there, you can see the Food Hub sales. We did over $500,000 worth of sales for these small farmers. That is pretty significant for the size of the farms we work with.
And we do have physical copies of these if any of you would like one.
A little about our farmers. We do try to work with historically underserved communities. So we have 19 women-owned and operated farms, 8 veteran-owned farms, 16 minority-owned farms, and we serve 14 different counties in North Carolina. We're also part of a North Carolina Food Hub Collaborative, so we do actually work with food hubs all around the state. We do try to only source locally, but if we want to get apples, I'm going to try to get them from the mountains of North Carolina, and vice versa. We're trying to do more coordinating with that too. So if people want to get sweet potatoes, collards, the stuff that we really do well down here, we can send that back to the mountains. One really important thing, this is probably the hill that I will die on, we let our farmers name their own prices. Every one of our farms is different. Everyone has very different input costs. I'm not going to tell them what they need to sell their produce to me at. Also, they can list as much or as little as they'd like to. We have certain farms that only list 1 or 2 weeks a year, some every single week of the year. That really allows them a whole nother market channel outside of just farmers markets and roadside stands. Here's a little map of all of our farms. So this is what would be really important to you guys now. This is what it looks like from a customer point of view. You go online and it's just like you're shopping on Amazon or what have you. We have a Meet Your Producers page where you can click on each farm, learn about their practices, about the farm history, what got them into farming. And then there's also a product list, so you can see every single thing. This is updated every Friday. And these are all of the different, whether it be like sweet potatoes, slicing tomatoes, summer squash. We have a bunch of meat. We do a ton of pretty much all livestock other than like sheep and goats. We have like every cut you can imagine. It's pretty cool. A lot of value added stuff. We have pecans, goat cheese, grits, honey. But we do strawberries, blueberries, blackberries. So yeah, pretty much you name it. And one thing that local food often gets a bad rep for is being overly expensive. So I just wanted to do a little myth busting thing here. I actually pulled these up 2 days ago, so this is current as of this week. If you were to get a 12-count bunch of collard greens from Walmart, it would cost you $17.50. I'm sorry, $29.64, and that's conventional. If you got the same thing from Feast Down East, it would be $17.50, and that's organic. Same thing for blueberries. We sell our organic blueberries at $3.75 a pint. Walmart sells theirs for $4.46. Another main food distributor that's kind of like our competitor would be US Foods. Same kind of deal. Right now, since we are in the midst of blueberry season, they got us beat by almost 20 cents. The scale that they work at is pretty significant, though, I will say. But other things, such as yellow squash, they're almost 1.5 times as much as what we're selling ours for. So I guess at the end of the day here, my main thing is I would really love to get some of this local goodness into the mouths of all of these children. We have a bunch of local farms, and they would love to get their products into these school systems. Their families go to these schools, and there's even certain things such as part of the Food Hub Collaborative is First Hand Foods out of Durham, and they have a prepackaged NC Eastern barbecue. All it has to do is be heated up, so that's an option as well. If the schools wanted to get some strawberries and just like ready to heat barbecue, that's an option that we could do for them. I did hear somebody say communities and schools, they are one of our partners. Actually, a lot of these folks are in New Hanover County, and most of them are going to be in Pender, though. We have a couple in Onslow as well, but Willard Outreach, Westview Methodist Church, St. James, Pender County Christian Services has been one of our most longtime loyal partners. CIS, Pender, Cape Fear, Burgaw Methodist Church. So I meant to change the thing at the top. That should go up to 2025. But we really do love investing in this community, and we like getting the food from this community back in the community. Here's just a couple of our other partners and some contact information. So.
Just a few little tidbits. I am a product of Pender County Schools. I'm a South Topsail to Topsail Middle to Topsail High, and I moved from one side of the county to the other. This is something that I've been very passionate about being on the board with Feast Down East, is getting them more into Pender County. Y'all know that our Pender County schools have so much beautiful room for growth. There's been a lot of growth with population, but also just across the board as different things change. This is something that I think would be very nice. I grew up eating a lot of spicy chicken patties, so having some fresh, locally sourced products would be really cool to see. And the beauty of it is we already work with Aramark. So through UNCW, they're a regular order with us, so we're familiar with the different systems, and we're pretty flexible and quick learners on a lot of different things. So we hope that it's an opportunity y'all will consider.
We're very easy to work with.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Before you go, have you talked with any of our Aramark people that do our food service here?
I don't know if in this county. I have gone to a couple meetings for New Hanover County. I had talked to like Amy Stanley, Gary.
All right.
Blank on his last name right now.
I'll be happy to pass along their information, because
I have some business cards as well.
I'd love to collaborate and have that meeting with
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, even if we just sat down and talked, I'd love
Okay.
to bend your ear.
All right.
Thank you.
Any other
All right.
questions?
I didn't hear anything about the boxes. I used to get the boxes.
Oh, the CSA boxes?
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You still doing that?
we sure
Yes.
are.
Okay.
It's actually in full swing. There is 3 more weeks to sign up for summer CSA.
highly recommend. And we offer both the half and full boxes at a 6-week and 10-week. I have subscribed every season, sans one, and it's great. And if y'all haven't tried the grits that we offer, they're the best grits, bar none.
We're also
No
doing an egg
competition.
share, a meat share, and you're welcome to get anything else that's online too. Some of our CSA customers like to get like a 12 count thing of like carrots or like a big old thing of like Boston butt. So you're welcome to buy anything if you're a CSA customer.
Thank you for asking about that. Any other questions? Cool.
Thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next item, since we're out of order.
Bordeaux bi-monthly update. 10.4.
Yeah, Bordeaux, that's right. I'm blind. It's right here in front of me. 10.4.
Good evening again, Board. I want to invite Ben Warren up to talk about his bi-monthly update on J.H. Lee. It's progressing very nicely. I was out there a couple weeks ago, so always fun to see the school. And then I just also want to mention to you that MVP called me this afternoon, the representative, and he's sick, and he could not make it tonight. So Ben is graciously going to share the change orders, so he can talk about those with you. All right, thank you.
Good evening, Board Chair, Dr. Breedlove. Great to see you all again. If I may, before jumping into the J.H. Lee update, just a huge thank you for your continued confidence in us on Topsail. You know, humbling, tells us that we're doing a lot of things right, and I can tell you that we're extremely excited and motivated to do whatever we can to continue keeping you interested and exciting about our design ideas and project execution. So can't thank you enough, and looking forward to coming in and doing updates on that one. I think we have our kickoff a couple weeks from now. So, as always, please interrupt me if I'm taking too long or leaving things out, if you have any questions at all. All right, so we're going to run through status and schedule. We'll go into our 2-month look ahead, our technology update, budget, and Q&A, and I'll try to be as efficient as I can. I always like to kind of do snapshots of where we came from. So on the left, before we started, on the right, after clearing, on the left, right as we finished the surcharge, that's actually when we're starting footing, so that was about 15 and a half months ago today, and then the photo on the right is where we are about a week ago. So we're just under a year from substantial completion, and I'm going to go over kind of where we are, with systems, site, and envelope. And as Dr. Grimm mentioned, we're extremely excited about where we are. Obviously, we have another hurricane season here to go through, but we're in a good position to handle, any of these unexpected things that come our way. So a little tricky to see in this light, but we're really getting close to the completion of the building facade. In the far end, you see this is the football soccer field here is all graded out. It's got topsoil spread. Thank you, that's great. And then on baseball, softball, we're storing the remainder of our topsoil here, but we're about a month from the sport fields lighting being brought in for installation. So we have, quite a bit going on with the site to get ready for that. We've got our concessions building, roof, brick veneer on, and we have the electrical infrastructure going in, which is all the power for the lighting. So pretty excited about that. Quickly moving into a position of completing, some of the underground work that has to happen. And I have some better close-up pictures here soon, but this is the last wing where we have the masonry facade going on. So you got all the roof complete, you've got all the brick on the whole building except here, and the windows are not far behind it. And then we got some metal wall panel stuff that's got to be dialed in, but that doesn't affect the water tightness of the building. So we're in a position that there's not really much of anything holding us back on the interior finishes of the building. And at that point, you have the schedule under control. We have a few new aerials you may have seen in the email I sent out with the monthly aerials. So we've had, and this one is just absolutely terrible. It's like, what am I looking at here? So the pilot's going to work on that a little bit. I think they got maybe 5% of the sewer clearing we've got. I have another picture that's pretty funny that it shows how, I mean, several miles of sewer line that we have to run. And then this will be in the improvements in the DOT right-of-way here. So this is our temporary entrance where our office trailer is, and then up here is going to be where the permanent driveway is. So we'll be able to start tracking the progress here. We had the pre-construction conference with DOT this morning, and we're anticipating starting right after the 4th with this work.
Could you remind me again what our entrance is going to look like? I mean, we looking at a stoplight or roundabout, or what are we looking at?
We have some turn lanes and we have some traffic signals. There's no roundabouts.
Okay.
So, and this is just a reminder is, you know, Ms. Burns, this is the entrance here. It doesn't really have the right-of-way improvements on it. I can incorporate that though next time. And we can look at that kind of side by side with the progress of the right-of-way work. And you'll be able to see it taking shape.
That would be great.
Appreciate that.
Thank
Keep
you.
these interesting so I don't have to be redundant. But yeah, we were just looking at kind of all this sewer line that comes out this side. Here's your road widening. I think everyone's pretty familiar with the rest of it. So yeah, so this is this is a drone shot looking at H wing. So this is the elementary school wing, the last one that has masonry ongoing. We have quite a bit of window assembly still kind of scattered around, but the bulk of the wings have windows in it. This is the last one that's really wide open. So, and then this is looking back from D wing, so office, Highway 210 back here. And you're really able to start seeing a lot of the metal wall panel systems going on. All down through here we have them. The last big piece of the facade that hasn't quite started yet, the systems are in manufacturing, are the ACM panels. So you have two different metal wall panel types. You've got the corrugated panels that are on here that you've probably seen if you've been on site recently. And then you have these fins around the windows, and in between, that's ACM, which is aluminum composite material. It's a higher end metal wall panel that'll really give, some good variation in the finishes between different colors of bricks and the different profiles of the metal panels. So those are getting ready to start. Here's your front entrance. A little tough to see, but we've got these window assemblies in, except for the doors. You can really see what this school is going to look like here, minus the fact that there's dirt everywhere right now. So as I mentioned, the building envelope's getting close. We have started our building envelope testing, so we have Sutton Kennerly, who is our special inspections agent, so they come in. We have Atlas that's doing all the roof testing and special inspections, and then SKA is water pressure testing these windows, any flashings that are obvious, and so they're going through, and that process is underway now that we have sections of the building that are complete. Here's the service yard here. So we've got our transformer set. We've got our emergency generator in place. Automatic transfer switch. This is where the grease trap is. The water and sewer come up through here, so all the metering happens. And here's our chillers. So pretty soon we'll be getting all this concrete in place. You're really able to see, this is where all the intake will be for food deliveries, and really good shape. Because again, as I've mentioned in previous updates, we have essentially everything we need to work with at this point. And, after all the COVID stuff in years past, I tell you, it felt like you could never take anything for granted again. So this is one of the drone shots I was alluding to. That's our school right there. It's a very teeny school. And
okay,
trying to capture and be able to show, in photos and these updates, how this sewer line that comes all the way through with all these jogs, the force main that comes all the way almost out to NC 17 is a work in progress. It's going to be a lot of work to do. We anticipate actually laying the pipe here real soon, but it's just pretty wild. It's pretty wild run of sewer there. Snapshot on our schedule, kind of where we started from and where we are. Just under a year to substantial completion. And going over the highlights, I've touched on a lot of this, like where we are now. I mentioned where we are with the ball fields, the sewer line, where we are. We've got the trench completely cleared, all of our tree protection fence, the erosion control fence is in place, and we're waiting on the actual delivery of the permanent materials to start running that line. Had the pre-con with DOT today, and the remainder of our storm drainage material comes in about 2 weeks, which will allow us to complete all the underground storm and really get moving on site sidewalks and all that. We will have permanent power energized on the building on Friday, 3 days from now. And mechanical rooms are being prepped so we can actually start up the equipment to get the manufacturers up to do their equipment startups, which will involve the building commissioning agent. But we are evaluating proposals to have temporary systems to provide cooling throughout the summer and heating in the initial winter to avoid using the equipment this early. We don't want to, with there still being quite a bit of dust and dirt because we don't have the site developed, we don't want to use that equipment too early. So that's what we're working on now, and operations will be involved in those decisions, as will you. Let's see, and we should be looking, all the insulation is complete on one half of the building for MEP. I've talked at length about the facade, and we have prime paint on all the block walls in the cafeteria gym and the entire middle school side. And interior drywall is hung out in the penthouses, all the admin, and building C and E. So building finishes are really cruising along nicely, and we're at a point where we're starting to look at, ceiling grid, which is a pretty major milestone on the job. So looking ahead 2 months, we should be well underway with actually laying the sewer line, the force main. We'll have all the ball fields complete, and the sports field lighting will be the installation will be underway. We'll be working on, we should have all the sidewalks around the ball fields complete, and we'll be working on it around the building, which is really going to help us control tracking dirt in the building and so on. And we should have started the road widening it along 210. We anticipate having all the ductwork and piping complete 2 months from now, and all the insulation complete 2 months from now. And the commissioning agent should be well underway with checking out the equipment, for the initial startups to make sure everything's working in good working order. We don't have any manufacturer defects, which does happen, and you have to reorder equipment or get them to come out. We want to head that stuff off early. Looking ahead, brick should be finished in 2 weeks. Windows should be finished mid-July. Metal wall panels will be 100% complete, and the ACM should be maybe a month from completion. Or actually, by the time we do our next update, it will be complete. ACM will be complete. And yeah, as I mentioned, we should be well underway with ceiling grid, but we don't want to start that until we have some kind of conditioning in the building, making sure those finishes are in a good environment doesn't have a lot of moisture and so on. So yeah, really about to move headlong into the finished stage of the job and already, in a good position and have a lot of that behind us. All right, so some of the new technology items. These are our BIM comparisons. This is the middle school courtyard, where it is as of, within the last week, and what the BIM model shows. Very similar. This is looking at the kitchen, so obviously we don't have any of the equipment in yet, but you can kind of see a lot of the rough ends in place. Here's all the electrical panels back here. Here is the boiler room. This picture's a little dark, but you can tell, I mean, they're nearly identical. That's how we've coordinated it to go. And here's the media center. So it's really taken shape, windows in, obviously not working on any of these hard ceilings yet or getting any of this in place, but still nice to look at as we kind of get closer. Project budget. So design build contingency, I've used 4% to date. Owner contingency, we are now at 35% allocated. And per this note here, that percentage is primarily due to funding the road widening work out of owner contingency. It was not originally in the contract, right? So we've left the soft cost alone so that can be reappropriated. And we're utilizing owner contingency for the temporary funding, because that's going to be reimbursed within the next couple years, however, whenever NCDOT gets around to reimbursing it. So, yep, that's kind of where we are on budget. That's all I've got. Any questions? Too long-winded?
No,
Okay. All right.
I did have a question. And I'm coming in halfway through this process, as you know. Is there a plan for a school sign somewhere?
Yes, we are actively working on that. Should I discuss that or no? I don't want to steal your thunder.
If there's, whatever.
So there is a school sign on the plans, and it has an electronic component to it. And there's discussion going on within the last couple weeks. Is this what we really want? And so I think Joel's engaged stakeholders to kind of get all them to weigh in on, hey, if we have this electronic sign, there is a maintenance component to it. You got to program this thing every day. People driving by on 210, can they really see it? And so we are working on presenting some other options other than what is on the plans, maybe completely revamping the sign to look entirely different, maybe filling in the electronic portion with precast or metal panel with a splash of color. So to answer your question, yes, we do have one scheduled. I think we're just trying to make sure we're doing it right.
And if I could just add one more statement to that, we just want to talk through this a little bit more, because everything that goes home is sent home electronically about upcoming events. So we still need an electronic sign in this day and age. It would be a cost savings if we did not put in the electronic sign. But, no final decisions are made. We've been just discussing it.
It's good to know.
Should we go into the change orders now? Okay.
I'm afraid to hit that thing.
Okay, so this is MVP's dashboard. I am going to use my documents here. So I think we have a pretty large packet here relative to some of the previous ones. I've printed this out very small. I believe this includes up to 120 from 107, so 107 through 120. I believe this group, correct me if I'm wrong, Joel, because I have that one as a different coloring, does include the canopies. So that's a big one we've talked quite a bit about in several presentations. So we have finalized all those canopies in PCO 109, and you all should have the detail on it. That's a total of $373,863. And again, we had 3 or 4 competitive canopy bids on that, and they were really close. We shared that bid tab. I'm trying to focus on the ones that are really more significant, unless you all have any specific questions, because there's several, $2,000 proposals in here. Most of those are on the design build contingency side to resolve maybe items that weren't coordinated. I know we had an engineering judgment on the concessions building roof, and we decided to beef up an overflow drain on it, which was, it's a conservative way to go about it. We agreed with it. We have the NCDOT road widening proposal in here. That's PCO 110. That was bid out to, we had 3 bidders pre-qualified and 2 bid it. So we have competitive bidding, and they were, from memory, less than $100,000 apart. And that proposal is reimbursable, as is PCO 107, because that's the construction administration from Kimley Horn, who's the designer. So that'll be part of the reimbursement package submitted to DOT. We have a substantial credit in here to the tune of 1.4 million for, and that's PCO 111 for subcontractor allowance reconciliation. Most of that comes from what we call undercut allowances. So we anticipated quite a bit of bad dirt on the job that would have had to been undercut and replaced with good dirt, right? And of course, the material that we hauled in to use for the surcharge helped with that because it's crushed stone, a lot of it. And we were able to use much of that in the parking lots as well. So, you know, we barely ran into any undercut on the job. And that's probably 90% of this credit, maybe 80. I think we had about a $400,000 allowance for the signage package that was not bid out originally. And then we ended up reconciling that at much less. So I think we're crediting $250 back on that, what we budgeted for it. And then the last one that looks significant to me would be the PCO 112 for the fax and EC room revisions. Those are about 126,000. And I believe you have the detail in front of you for that. That did involve a lot of things. Yes, where we added the fax classroom, added a Hoyer lift system, ADA range in the EC break room. There's quite a bit of electrical modifications to make all this work. Modified casework in the art room, cord reel mounts in the stem, and we soundproofed the band room ceiling. So it's quite a bit of work associated with that. The rest of these are pretty minor and straightforward. Do you want me to elaborate on any more of them?
Good. Dr. Grimm, are you good with the change orders?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that's all I needed to know.
It's great to see you all. Thank you
very
so
much.
Same here. Consent agenda.
All right, the item 11 is the consent agenda. We have items 11.1 through 11.6. Does anyone have any questions?
I don't. I think all my questions got answered in the committee of the whole. Ms. Hanson?
Yes.
With that, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
All right, Ms. Burns has
Sorry,
made a
did you have-
motion.
I was gonna say I'll second, but you were gonna ask.
Thank you.
What?
I'll
Yeah,
second that motion.
Okay. Ms. Hanson is seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And that's everyone that's present. All right, consent agenda is unanimous. Item 12.1, PILA accountability model.
Good afternoon or evening again, board members. If you'll remember back from last year, PILA operates off a different accountability model compared to what we all operate off of in traditional schools. They utilize things like persistence, how their, of course, test scores are part of that as well. But every year we have to resubmit their accountability system model to the state. This will be option B again, and this will be for a 3-year term. I think that Ms. Fuller is here as well. She stepped out for a moment, but I can get her if you have any questions. It's very similar to the previous one that we had. When you have an alternative learning environment, things like resiliency and things of those nature play a major part in those students' success. So those things are taken into accountability based on the school report cards. And once this is approved, we will get the appropriate signatures from Dr. Breedlove and Ms. Fuller and send it over to the state. There you go, perfect timing. Do you have any questions for Ms. Fuller?
I have no questions, and with that, I will actually make a motion to approve 12.1 PILA accountability model.
All right, Ms. Burns made a motion.
Second that motion?
We have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Item 12.2, considering a school bond.
Yes, sir. There's an action item in there, executive summary. It briefly states that the Pender County School Board would consider a request for a school construction bond. Open it up to you guys for discussion and decision.
So this would just be the request of stating our needs.
Recently, with everything that has come to light about Topsail Middle, we are now to the point of making major decisions about Topsail Middle School. And I called individually each board member and I asked them, would you be willing at this point to go ahead and let's direct the superintendent to start a bond request? And everyone that I talked to was in agreement of this. This has been a long time in the coming, and I think everybody knows that. And I believe that we are to a point where we really have to get a plan together for growth. And I know that we have had plans for growth, and but I believe that now that plan is now at the action phase. So with that being said, I make a motion that the Board of Education direct the superintendent and his staff to prepare a bond request for the Pender County Commissioners
For school construction.
for school construction. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Keep me straight.
All right, Ms. Burns has made a motion. Do we have a second?
Just to be clear, we're asking the superintendent to go ahead and prepare a package that we would present to the commissioners, that would be taken to the voters, correct?
Yes, and I'll even elaborate on that a little further. When we were in our joint meeting with the county commissioners, Commissioner George as much as said, my suggestion to you all is go ahead, get a package together of everything that you want, and the county commissioners will then take a look at what we can afford to do for you. And honestly, as board members, one of our largest jobs, one of the most important jobs that we have up here is to let the county commissioners know what we need. And beyond that, it is up to them to try to get us what we need. And I feel that this bond request would be, it falls within our responsibilities. It is our responsibility to let them know what we need. And at this point, I feel that it's not just the east side anymore, it's the west side also. Okay. We have needs, especially for more seats in our schools. And we have no other resources to make that happen other than taking a bond request to the county commissioners. And I believe we're in that position right now. We need to do this.
I'll second that motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brandon, could you, so the public knows, could you do a real brief, like, it's our job to request what we see as a need?
Right. So
And there's several approvals that this has to go through.
that's absolutely correct. So the first thing that has to happen is the Board of Education has to determine what its capital needs are that it would potentially have the Board of Education approve, to then request that the county authorize to be on a future bond election. And so there are multiple gates and multiple hurdles, but step one of that process is directing the superintendent to come to you with a list of needs. And so that is the beginning. By the way, as the public very well may know, capital needs are a running list of things that the school district has to have on tap, including growth predictions and all those wonderful things.
And
It's a big job.
it's a very long process,
Yes, sir.
but it is up to the local Board of Education
That's correct.
to state what we see
Statutorily.
as a need.
Yep.
And you gotta look down the road here. Years, is that,
And we just, and I'm sorry, what is the name of the company that we used for our? Itri. We just did get the report back from Itri about our growth study. Whenever you start a bond, you also need a growth study to base your needs upon. We have already got that growth study back, and it was very revealing, but it wasn't shocking. We need more. We need more seats, and we need them right now on the east side, and we need to prepare for the seats that we will need on the west side.
yeah, we just need everybody to understand that this is a multi-year. It doesn't happen overnight, and there's some of the hurdles that Mr. McPherson talked about are, number one, it's gotta pass this body, just like it just did, the request, and then it's gotta pass the commissioners. It also has to pass the local government,
LGC.
The LGC.
commission, and it also has to, most importantly, pass the voters.
Yes, sir. And the next time that would be available in an option would be 2028. It has to be a
Even numbered year.
even numbered year, and that's the big deal.
Good time to be starting the process.
It's a great time. It gives everyone enough runway to begin the thoughtful planning and processing that you need to get from what are our needs to what needs to be included in that school bond.
And so that's why sometimes it looks to the public that things are moving slow. But for example, I think the planning for the current middle school that we're building right now started in what, 2018,
I would
2019 maybe?
I would say 2017 in the very
Yeah, maybe
beginning.
it runs together, but
But you're exactly right. No, there was preliminary plans started at the end of 17 that ran through all of 18, and it was, there was a lot of moving going on, and it takes time.
Yep.
So
but we're happy to say, as the public may have seen on our presentation, that school is moving along nicely. And
And on budget.
it'll be here before you know it.
Well, and that's why I thought it was a good time for the Board of Education to start discussion about the next phase of our infrastructure growth. And if we didn't make the vote tonight, it had to start somewhere. And if we didn't make the vote tonight, it was obvious it wasn't going forward. So I thank the board for putting it on the agenda, and let's start making plans.
So, this is 2017 till now is,
It's a long time.
9 years. So that's all long-term things, but it does start with us communicating the needs. And that's something that we do every year. We go through various things, needs that the school system has, and, there's a lot at stake. There are a lot of budgets at stake, things like that, so. Both ours, the state, and the county budget. There's, it has all kind of variables, so. But all right, so we have that is passed already. Sorry about that, I went off on a tangent here. Item 12.3, Bordeaux K through 8 pay application.
Yes, hello again. So, just asking on 12.3 for you to approve the Bordeaux pay application as presented.
All right. Someone like to make that motion?
I'll make that motion to approve the Bordeaux pay app number 9.
Ms. Hanson has made the
23,
motion.
sorry. 23, sorry.
All right, Ms. Hanson has made the motion. Have a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Burns seconded. Everyone in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous.
Okay, then,
Next item.
yeah, is MVP pay app number 9. Ask the board to approve as presented.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
I'll make a motion to approve the MVP pay app as presented.
All right, we have a second.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That is unanimous. 12.5, J.H. Lee change orders.
Yes, we had many of those tonight, 14 to be exact, and I ask the board to approve the change orders as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the J.H. Lee change orders.
All right, Ms. Burns has made a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Ms. Hanson has seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and now we're going to talk about the adjustment to the 3-tier bus system. Britton came and spoke to you in May, and I know you wanted some time to think about that and get some public feedback, so I'll invite him to come back up for further discussion.
Hello again. So, would you like for me to review anything, or do you have any questions, or where do we go from here?
Quite honestly, I've had plenty of time to review it, and I could understand why a small adjustment might help you some, but right now, just the feedback that I've gotten is a lot of these students, especially over at Topsail High, just have a really hard time getting to school on time right now. So going any earlier, I don't think it's gonna be feasible at this point. For right now, I'd love to help you out with it, but I think that for right now, we probably need to keep things the same.
So we had two options on the table. One of them
Yes,
was,
sir.
it was a little bit of an earlier start, and then one of them was adding a few minutes to the end of between the elementary and middle school, just to try to let us kind of attempt to conquer the traffic barrier that we deal with on a daily basis. So, both options had that little 5-minute window into them, that 5-minute adjustment. But the, option 2 kept the high school start time the same, elementary start time the same, and it gave a 5-minute addition to the start time for the middle school. So that was just want to make sure you know both options and what the changes were.
I did, but I had to lead off with that start time for the.
I know. I've heard too.
The reaction that I got from that, I had to lead off with that.
I think we have we've pushed them back as far as we can. I mean,
Yeah, we've about maxed out
So you
that
won't leave
start
it
time.
as is for,
I'm willing to have discussion about the second option of pushing it back. I mean, and I know that the start time would, as long as that start time does not move, I would be willing to give you some flexibility as far as, just for myself, I'd be willing to give you some flexibility.
Yeah, it
the
did push the start time
end
for
times.
middle school, which is the third tier, by 5 minutes. And then it puts their dismissal time by 5 minutes the same way. So they would initially start 5 minutes later and get out 5 minutes later than what it is currently.
that's option number 1, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I thought.
Okay, so option number 2 would,
10 minutes instead of 5, correct?
Hmm.
Or no, sorry.
You led with option
Yeah.
number 2 on the.
I led with option number 2. Option number 1 is actually the proposed adjustment to keep the 7:10 start time. And it would be an additional 5 minutes on the end for Topsail Middle.
Yes, ma'am.
The middle schools.
For them, both middle schools, yes.
I would be willing to go with option one. What do you think, Ms. Hanson? You want to make a motion? Okay. I'll make a motion to go with option one.
All right. Ms. Burns has made a motion for option one. Do we have a second?
Second.
Ms. Hanson has seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Overton.
12.7, Chromebook purchases. Yearly Chromebook purchase.
Biannually. So yes, board, so obviously this is just another purchase. This is actually going to be on next fiscal year, so I'm just trying to get ahead of this so I can have a PO ready to go out July 1. So this is not a purchase on any funds for the remainder of this year. Just trying to get out in front of this. This is again keeping with our regular 7-year refresh cycle on student devices. And this will be the first half of that order for next year. Trying to get a head start on those. You have any questions or?
None that we haven't already asked on the
Yeah, I think we've already, yeah.
Well, and I'm happy to keep doing this process. I avoid state contracts for this very reason. We run the RFPs. We're ending up with a different device we've never used before, and at the end of the day, price is what drove that decision.
Exactly.
And that's the reality we're having to shop for in this market.
Yes, sir.
So I have no worries.
Would you tell the public that's listening how many of these computers we have and how many y'all work on and all that?
Yeah, I can give some
pretty
loose numbers.
fascinating,
Yeah, we maintain a fleet that floats around 13,000 to close to 14. You know, our goal is to ensure every child has access to a device, and we keep roughly about a 10% spare pool in every school. Except for Topsail High, we keep about 5% there. 10% be a little ridiculous. They have a lot of students. But, you know, the idea is our repairs, I mean, I have the numbers from last year. We repaired probably around, it was close to around 3,000 devices that were touched and repaired by the techs throughout the year, some miscellaneous part, be it a screen, which is one of our most common issues, keyboards. We do all that in-house. I'm very proud to be able to do that. We don't ship that off to any providers whatsoever. So a lot of these devices, we're touching them every year, and right now we're doing school to school and putting our hands on every single one of them and make sure they're ready to go for next year. And if we don't touch it, we disable it. So it turns into a brick, and it turns out they wind up right back in our schools pretty quickly.
And you've got you and, is it 3 people?
There are 6 of us in technology
6 now,
services,
okay.
me and 5 others, yeah. Yeah, it's, we're
14,000.
about 14,000 is the fleet number.
And you go out and set up things at schools and
If it deals with a computer, we take care of it.
every building we have and
Such as all the technology.
I'm not here because of any success on my part. I'm supported and maintained by an amazing team. And they love what they do, and they're all happy to serve. 3, myself, and 2 other of our techs are products of the school system. You know, so it's, we're proud to work for this district every day.
all right. I just, sometimes I think people don't remember the scale.
I appreciate the moment.
That's why I probably asked you the same thing last year.
Well, and I'll probably be bringing y'all another one of this, I would say, mid to late fall. You know, just again, keeping that rotation going. But this year I'm trying to actually do a better job of getting those items in early. And, you know, thankfully, and again, I have to commit Dr. Grimm, I mean, we have a lot of commitments and working off of our CIP now. And we can plan ahead and know what we're going to be doing the next year within reason, which is nice.
I make a motion to approve the Chromebook purchase.
All right, Ms. Hanson has made a motion. We have a second.
I will second that.
Ms. Burns has seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That is unanimous.
I appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Macon.
12.8, facility use for renovation church.
Yes, Renovation Church is asked to continue their lease for an additional 6 months. at $9,500 per month, and just asking the board for approval.
All right. Someone like to make that motion?
I will tell you that renovation has been a good partner, in my opinion, for Pender County Schools. I've noticed that, they're on the corner of Sloop Point Loop and 17. They are really going forward with the site work for the new church. All that being said, I'll make a motion for approval.
All right. Ms. Burns has made a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
And we have a second. All in favor
Aye.
is unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
12.9, continuing budget resolution. Sorry, I can't talk. Ms. Nowlin.
Good evening, Board. In your packet is included the continuing budget resolution. That gives us the authority to operate without a state budget in place. Unfortunately, we don't have their autonomy to do it for multiple years at one time. So I'm requesting that you approve the continuing budget resolution so that we can operate as normal until we have the budget in place.
Now, would someone like to make a motion on this motion that we have no choice on?
I'll make a motion to approve the
Exactly.
continuing budget resolution.
And I will second that motion.
Thank
So
you.
I would say that's probably unanimous then, so there you go.
Aye.
12.10, surplus vehicles.
That's me again. So at the last meeting, we tabled the driver's ed vehicles to list them on state surplus. Board member Spivey had made some suggestions on repurposing some vehicles and so on and so forth, so I did a little investigating on that. And it can be done. But state surplus requires a transfer of funds through state surplus. So in layman's terms, the district would have to buy the cars from state surplus and then turn around and do some sort of repurposing project. Now with state surplus, the money does come back to the district. They hold 8% of the money for whatever they use it for, and 92% of the money comes back to the program. So bottom line is, unless we want to purchase the vehicles and then work some sort of repurposing project. Now, as far as what the vehicles are valued at, state surplus sets the value on them as well, so we don't get to set that. So it's kind of up to you guys. I would request that you approve the sale of the vehicles as presented at the last board meeting, unless someone else would like to discuss this any further.
You want me to, make a motion to move forward with the sale of those vehicles.
As presented.
Surplus.
As presented last month.
As presented last month. Thank you, ma'am. Yes.
And Ms. Hanson, would you second, please?
I will second that motion, sir.
And all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Does anyone have anything else they'd like to add since we're here?
I think we're good.
All right. So now we're down to comments from board members. I'm going to start and say, Dr. Breedlove, we are happy about your accomplishment.
Thank you.
Regional superintendent, that I think we probably talked about last meeting too, didn't we? Yes. And had something for you today for that, so very good, well deserved. Otherwise, now that the school year is over, I hope that next year will be as successful as this one was. But that's all I have, Ms. Burns.
Yes, sir. At this time, I don't have any comment, but thank you. Well, one, again, congratulations to Dr. Breedlove. We are extremely proud of you and the work that you've done for us. And we hope you enjoyed your reception today.
Thank you. Very surprising.
Ms. Hanson.
I just wanted to say, since we met the last time, we've had, what, 5 graduations, I think it was?
Yes.
And I just want to say congrats to all of our 2026 graduates, and we wish you the best in all that you do. And again, to Dr. Breedlove, we're proud of you and your accomplishments as our regional superintendent. And I'd like to wish all our students and staff a happy and safe summer. We just want our staff to know that we appreciate all your hard work this year, and our students too. So it takes a team to do all of that. And we hope you return to us in the fall safe if you didn't graduate.
All right, Mr. McPherson.
Couple of quick comments, Board. Last month, I mentioned Senate Bill 889, which is the property tax reappraisal moratorium. That bill has now passed the Senate and the House. It's on the House side. It has passed second reading there, which means it will be read a third time. As you recall, it is a statewide bill, but it does affect Pender County specifically, along with several other counties, and it would basically place a moratorium on property tax reappraisal and any reevaluation not going into effect until January 1, 2027. So that is one item I wanted to mention. The other is a study that is being discussed by the North Carolina Senate in open enrollment. And so a study of open enrollment both inside of districts and between districts. So let me explain the concept of open enrollment as it's being discussed. Is so in Union County, for example, they allow kids who attend any school within their district. Now, there are caveats, there are rules inside of it, but essentially it's open enrollment where you can take your kid across borders and school assignment zones other than the one that you're districted for. Okay. Forsyth County has done a version of this, Granville County. The other thing that has never been done before is open enrollment across county borders and lines. And so that is a very new concept and a very new thing that would be studied. So don't exactly know what the intent there is, but there is some interest from the state senate on that. Please keep your eyes peeled for that, which could have some interesting implications. The last thing I wanted to mention was that the state auditor has agreed to do an audit into the expending of voucher funds. So please, over the next several months, that'll be coming forward. So with that, Mr. Chair, that ends my comments. Oh, sorry. Congratulations, Dr. Breedlove, on becoming Regional Superintendent of the Year. I apologize.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else? Anything popped up before we go?
Yes, sir.
We have a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Ms. Burns has made a motion.
I will second that motion.
Ms. Hanson has seconded. I was about to volunteer her if not. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That is unanimous. Thank you to everyone for coming.